Our next speaker is Jim Moulthrop. Jim has been involved in the highway construction and maintenance industry for over 50 years. His career has included a number of different assignments with various organizations, including positions with the Pennsylvania Department of Transportation, the University of Texas at Austin, Exxon Chemicals Americas, Koch Material Company, and Fugro Consultants. Currently, Jim is the Executive Director of the Foundation for Pavement Preservation, known as FP2, a non-profit trade association representing the pavement preservation industry. He is a member of a number of technical organizations, including the Transportation Research Board, ASTM International, the Association of Asphalt Paving Technologists, and the Canadian Technical Asphalt Association. Jim is also chair of the advisory board of the National Center for Pavement Preservation at Michigan State University. Jim and his wife Marty have 3 children and 3 grandchildren. Jim? I guess I don't want to say great. Please welcome Jim.
Not great grandchildren. I just prepared a few remarks from the industry perspective regarding the need for continuing the drive for change, which is obviously the theme for this meeting. And Larry and Paul both have indicated their thanks and so forth to the various committees. But for most of you who were in the audience that didn't participate, for about the last 2 years, the number of people have put together the program that you see in front of you today. With a special thanks to the demonstration committee, because if you can imagine trying to get a number of contractors and suppliers all at the same place at the same time doing various things and without any hiccups. Most of the hiccups, I understand, have already occurred, so you shouldn't see too many of them tomorrow afternoon. I think you'll find it very interesting. Continuing the drive for change, I think, is very appropriate, and hopefully industry will be on that bus with our agency partners to help us negotiate the way forward. 4 years ago, the meeting was held in this hotel, the same meeting. There were about 500 and some plus people. Today, we have over 700, which indicates the awareness, number one, but also the interest in preserving our infrastructure. But some of the things that have happened in terms of the industry's involvement over the last 4 years since that last meeting, one is the pavement preservation being recognized as an eligible activity for federal funds, with both the transportation acts that were passed by Congress, MAP 21 in 2012 and the FAST Act in 2015. Also, the collaboration between Minroad and NCAT on a research project that is currently underway and work that they've accomplished so far. Reorganizing of the Federal Highway Administration Expert Task Group on Pavement Preservation that has been effective, and also the AASHTO TSP2 Emulsion Task Force, which some of you are members of and know their contribution. So those are some of the things from our perspective that have happened in that last 4 years, but we also see that we got a lot of things on the table that we still have to accomplish. And I've jotted down a few, but number one is Paul talked about funding, and a lot of discussion this morning at the Southeast meeting about funding and funding needs. But certainly finding a reliable, consistent funding stream to make the Highway Trust Fund, as we know it in the U.S., permanently solvent. That's going to be a big deal. It's talked about often. Often nothing's done about it. So I think that that's something that we as industry see as one of the things that we can do, is try to make that happen. Also institutionalizing the pavement preservation treatment specifications with AASHTO. Some of that's already been done. AASHTO has accepted a microsurfacing specification, chip seal specification, working on fog seals, scrub seals, slurry seals, etc., actually providing a national-based specification for these various products. Also, as was mentioned this morning by TxDOT, the work to implement a surface performance-graded asphalt emulsion specification, something that would be in tune with, as we know, the PG grading system for asphalt binders in this country now, something very similar to the binders that are used in the emulsion process. And finally, agencies and industry working together, which we've been doing to embrace the idea that we need to make sure we have a quality workforce, and we need to make sure we have intelligent inspection on the projects that go underway. So it's a certification issue that some states have already started to dig into. What about our role as the foundation? Where do we see ourselves going in the next 4 years before the next meeting in Nashville, hopefully? Expressing funding concerns and the need to preserve our infrastructure to Congress at the national level as well as the state level. We need to maintain a proactive role in pavement preservation research. We think the work that's currently underway with MnROAD and NCAT is very valuable information that will help us along the way. Of course, the long-term pavement performance program under Federal Highway is just in the process of completing an experiment design looking at pavement preservation techniques for both rigid and flexible pavement. So that's something, again, that we need to be involved with. Continuing the sponsorship, we're a funding partner for the National Center at Michigan State, and we will continue to be. And continuing to tell our story, the success stories that you all have had through the media and the Pavement Preservation Journal that we publish quarterly. And obviously, we can't do these things without industry support. I mean, that's the basis of what we do. And our work isn't done. Obviously, we as industry, we need to keep driving for change, and we need to get your help to accomplish it. So with that, I hope you have a great meeting. Particularly talking to several people who attended this session 4 years ago felt it was the best meeting they ever been to. And some people had never seen a lot of the treatments that are going to be placed tomorrow, have never seen those things go down before, and it was really eye-awakening for them to see that. So hopefully you'll have a great conference, and from the industry's perspective, we're glad you're here. Thanks.